to our nation's flag. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. All right, we will do roll call on declaration of conflicts of interest.
Councilmember Abram?
Here and none.
Councilmember Bixel?
Here are none.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Here and none.
Councilmember Phillips?
Here and none.
Mayor Bublak?
Here are none. Thank you. Approval of agenda is posted or amended.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Councilmember Bixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes. Passes on a 5-0. And now we have abundance of proclamations, recognitions, etc. So, Chief, you want to meet me over here?
Can we have our animal control folks, Katie and team, come up? All right. Katie, we're going to... Do we have a mic? We're going to start by letting you do the adoptable pets, and we'll roll into the proclamation.
Good evening. So tonight I have a scrumptious little treat for y'all. This is Brownie Bite. She is a 4-year-old Min Pin Chihuahua mix. She's been with us just a little over 10 days. She's kind of had a rough go, been passed around between a few owners, and she's now ended up here with us, so I consider her lucky. She is housebroke. She is very sweet. She is very welcoming to other people. She is available for adoption if you want to come adopt Brownie Bite.
Thank you. It's my honor to read this proclamation in honor of Animal Care and Control Appreciation Week, April 12th through 18th, 2026. Whereas the National Animal Care and Control Association has designated the second week of April of each year as Animal Care and Control Appreciation Week. And whereas the Turlock City Council would like to express its sincere thanks and appreciation for the outstanding service Turlock Animal Services provides on a daily basis to the residents of the city of Turlock. And whereas the Turlock City Council wishes to commend each and every animal services officer for their excellence in service, which is in keeping with the long and distinguished tradition of animal care and control and the profession. Now, therefore, on behalf of Mayor Amy Bublak and the entire City Council, I do hereby proclaim April 12th through 18th, 2026 as Animal Care and Control Appreciation Week in the city of Turlock, and encourage all residents in the city of Turlock to show appreciation and express gratitude for these outstanding individuals. And with us tonight is our Animal Services Supervisor, Katie Walthrop, and Darian Cade. So we appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
Brownie, you want to say anything? Well, there we are. You can hold it and picture. One, two, three. Smile, Brownie.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mayor.
Absolutely. All right. Now we have Sims. Mr. Sims, Director Sims.
Let me step back.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City staff, and members of the public. Tonight, we are celebrating a new Turlock business that enrolled in the Turlock Partnership Incentive Program, a program that provides $3,500 to a new business that opens in Turlock. Kebab Place and Grill, located at 3121 Kroll Road, Turlock, California. This business has completed all the requirements for the program. They're operating out of a commercial location in Turlock. They're not part of a franchise or corporate chain. They submitted a business plan, participated in a pre-development meeting, and agreed to meet with staff periodically through the year to check in. We're excited to celebrate this new business. This is a family from Turlock. They have a passion for cooking, and we are proud that Turlock can be a home to their business. So be sure to stop by 3821 Kroll Road and enjoy their delicious food. If the family of the business, can you please come up? We have a check presentation. Join us, Council.
business. We're opening tomorrow, right? What time? 11.
One, two, three. Perfect. Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it'll work. Thanks, Vito.
Not me. All right. Wait a minute. Volunteer. In order. And volunteers. Let's do it. Do you want to call them up?
Can we please have our VIPs come forward for the presentation?
Taking all the space, huh? All right. Holy smokes, they just keep coming. Don't call the fire marshal. Yeah, double up, you guys, come on. Okay, so this is about our volunteers, and you have to understand that we have all these parades, all these events, and these people are always here trying to help us make sure that we have fun and are safe. So it's awesome that we have all of this, and volunteers make up hundreds of individuals in our community, representing a wide array of individuals volunteering in various departments throughout the city of Turlock in the following programs: volunteers in police services, police explorers, Municipal Volunteer Partnership Program, and Friends of Turlock Animal Services. You just bet Brownie. So the City of Turlock's volunteer programs are staffed with a group of men and women willing to serve an agency in need of time, dedication, and talents. These individuals are often unnoticed to the public, but are indispensable to the City of Turlock. The City Council recognizes that 2,080 volunteer hours of service equals a full-time employee at wages and benefits in excess of $85,125. So the public should be knowledgeable about volunteerism and the efforts of volunteerism improving the quality of life in our community. So on behalf of the City Council and our community, we wanted to make sure that you know that we so appreciate your time and effort, and the week is the week of the 19th through the 25th will be the week that we are going to recognize you guys even more than every other day. So is somebody speaking? You want it?
I just want to say thank you to you guys. I appreciate it. This was seeing you guys out there. That's the highlight of my day. So a lot of times in our work week, there's challenges, new challenges. It seems like every day, a lot of stress. But seeing you guys and having you guys as part of our team, it just brought it home for me. So thank you very much for what you do every day. We appreciate you. Thank you, Sergeant Parmley, Captain Rodriguez, Melanie, the whole team that makes this machine happen. We really appreciate you all. We really couldn't do it without you. This is service to our community without a price tag, and we owe you from the bottom of our hearts. So thank you so much. Can you guys please help Sergeant Parmley, Melanie, Captain? And Sergeant Parley reminds me we're taking applications.
Future police officers right there, maybe.
Right. One, two, three. And one more. One, two, three. Perfect. Thank you all so much.
Telecommunication. Telecommunication.
All right. Now, can I have Amanda Furtado, our Support Operations Manager, come up for the proclamation for National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week? It's my honor to read this proclamation in honor of our dispatchers. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our residents have with emergency services. And whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from residents who telephone the City of Turlock Public Safety Communications Center, and whereas our public safety telecommunicators serve our residents daily in countless ways and deserve our heartfelt appreciation. Now, therefore, on behalf of Mayor Amy Bublak and the entire City Council, I do hereby proclaim April 12th through 18th, 2026 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the City of Turlock, and encourage all residents of the City of Turlock to show and express appreciation for these outstanding individuals. Amanda, thank you so much to your team and all that you do. We appreciate you so much. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, I believe it's recreation now.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Community. I have another proclamation for you. And this one is going to be in honor of Arbor Day. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. Whereas in 2026 is the 154th anniversary of the holiday, and Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and world. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and beautify our community. And whereas, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Karen Packwood, on behalf of Mayor Amy Bublak, do hereby proclaim April 2026, a whole month, as the 154th anniversary celebration of Arbor Day in the City of Turlock, and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands, and encourage all citizens to plant trees and promote the well-being of this and future generations. I would also like to share that staff have recently taken inventory of our local parks, and we have a great need of adding trees to Bristol Park. So next Thursday, April 23rd from 6 to 7 p.m., I invite all of you to join us at Bristol Park, where we will be learning proper tree care and planting trees. So, thank you. Yes.
Mr. Petrolakis, come on over. Long line here. Okay. So this is in honor of George having been our legal counsel for some time now, and he wanting to go off and work on land stuff only. Is that about it? Okay. Whereas George Petrolakis has served the City of Turlock as City Attorney since February 3rd, 2021, and he was appointed interim City Attorney and was subsequently appointed by the Turlock City Council on September 28th, 2021. Since his appointment, George has faithfully served as City Attorney, offering sound legal counsel, ensuring transparency and compliance, and supporting the City Council, staff, and community with integrity and dedication. George has played an instrumental role in guiding the city through complex legal matters, including leading the city through the many challenges that emerged from COVID-19 pandemic and navigating evolving state regulations related to the rapidly increasing issue of homelessness, providing thoughtful advice on governance, policy, and municipal operations that has been strengthened the city's decision-making and long-term stability. Through his tenure, George has demonstrated a strong commitment to the rule of law, ethical governance, and best interests of the City of Turlock, and its residents. By virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Turlock, on behalf of the council and our community, we wanted to make sure that you know that we really appreciated you, and we know that you'll be coming back to help a little bit.
Sure.
Okay.
She asked me if I wanted to speak. I'm like, "Are you kidding?" So that's all I do. Okay, I'll try to do it. Thank you for the kind proclamation. Obviously not run through AI for accuracy, but I appreciate all the sentiments therein. I want to thank the mayor especially, and the current council and the previous councils I worked with. It was a joy. It's not work I ever really sought out in my career to be a inside government attorney. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years, and I've learned a lot, which is old dog new trick kind of deal at my age, and it's been really it's become a significant part of my over 30-year legal career. So I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it very much, most of the time, I would say. I'm very pleased that you're bringing an in-house city attorney. The city is big enough now, and its legal needs are substantial and ever evolving, and I think you really need somebody in-house like you've done as an employee, so I think Katie will be a great fit. I promised her I would lobby for her as much as I could. Please let her build a department as quickly as you can, because there are a lot of unmet legal needs that need attention. And don't listen to Isaac about the money. The money's there, so.
I'll mute you.
Really you have grown a fondness for the city of Turlock, its citizens. I've said it before in public, but you've got great citizens. You've got a great city government. It's a wonderful city. I come from Modesto, so I know of which I speak in terms of when I see greatness, and it's been down here. The city employees are wonderful. I can sing the praises of all your department heads, especially the ones here now. I think you've got a great team to work with. I'm not encouraging it, but if any of you ever need letters of recommendation, I'm happy to provide to them, to each and every one of you. I'm not encouraging it. Maybe best of all, I did get a dog from the city, Bear. But about since February, she's been a handful. But anyway, she's doing great. And that dog I saw tonight, she was cute too. So I encourage somebody to adopt her. And really, it's just been an honor to serve. So thank the mayor and the council and all of you, the public. Thank you very much.
All right, now public participation. This is the time set aside for the members of the public to address City Council on matters that are not listed on tonight's agenda and within our subject matter jurisdiction. You'll have 3 minutes, and the 3-minute timer's over here. We'll let you know. So we will start with the cards. Vito Chiesa, Supervisor.
Welcome, Mr. Supervisor.
Hello, everyone. Mayor, City Council, Isaac, it's nice to see you sitting up there, and congratulations, George, on your retirement from here. I know you're not retiring.
Emphasize that. I'm not retiring.
I've seen you today already in Modesto, so I know. I just wanted a couple of things. First of all, there was an intersection, there was a fatality, and Councilwoman Rebecca Moniz and myself, it was right on the city-county boundary, so we had to work our way through that. And I know that the folks that they had asked for a three-way stop, I know it's going to be very difficult to have a three-way stop, but I want to first thank Councilwoman Moniz. I always want to say Rebecca, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
And Chris Fisher in the back, who has been on it. I so much appreciate your staff and how they're handling this. It's fantastic. Second thing, I know I had a chance to introduce you, but to my new field rep, her name's Kiana Garcia. It's her first week, and she is a Turlock resident, which is great. When I can find a Turlock resident for a field rep, you might stand up for just a second. And she's a graduate from Chico State, so last time, I know. There's a Cowboy Mustang. But she is a political novice. She came out of private enterprise, so everyone be nice to her at least for a few months, if you could. And so she'll be showing up time to time, and I'm very proud to finally have, because I've been without for a couple of months, and it makes doing the job really difficult. So I apologize if it took me time to get back to you guys. That's all I have. Oh, to the VIPs, the people that volunteer make a community, make a difference in a community. I know sometimes we say we're paid to be here or we're paid to do our job, but the people who are out volunteering like them, they deserve a standing ovation and everything we can do for them. So I so much appreciate you guys honoring them. That's it. Any questions? All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Welcome, Ms. Garcia.
Welcome.
All right, let's talk Turlock Library. What could possibly be going on there?
Karina, I didn't even see your time.
Snuck in the back.
Yes, you did.
Okay, well, I am Karina Mendoza. I'm the Turlock librarian, and all kinds of things are happening. April is a very busy month for us. Let's see, tomorrow we do have our chess club. So if you like to play chess, even if you're like a beginner or you're advanced, we have people of all ages. We even have chess boards that will tell you exactly where the little guys move. So if you're like me, you forget, there's cheat sheets. And then next week we do have our Dia de los Niños, Dia de los Libros program. We split it into 2 days. So Tuesday we have a little bilingual story time that I will be doing. I'm a little rusty, so I say please forgive me. And then we'll have a little craft. We're making little bird feeders, so it's going to be super cute. And then what I'm excited about is on Wednesday, we have Los Luceros de Osborne coming to perform for us. So if you're not familiar with them, they are a ballet folklorico group through the local elementary school here. They are so stinking cute. Highly recommend them. They work really hard to do it. We get the younger kids, so it's like kindergarten to third grade. And I mean, they work really hard. So if you can come out, support them, that'd be wonderful. That will be next Wednesday at 3:30. And then same thing, Wednesday, April 22nd, that afternoon, we're switching up from a dance to the Master Gardener. So they're going to be doing a how to redo your front yard with native plants, make it water wise, and how to just kind of support with our environment. So highly recommend that. That is at 6 o'clock. So yeah, if you have questions about drip irrigation or how to make a water-wise garden, come out. They're so knowledgeable. A lot of times they will answer all of your questions. So highly recommend it. And that's everything we have going on.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Thank you. Milt?
Good evening, Milt Treeweiler. It's very bad for the residents of Turlock to have a Modesto fire chief replace the fire chief for Turlock. This action does not help Turlock. However, it will help Modesto, and now Turlock will end up paying Modesto more money than it would cost to have our own fire chief. The residents of Turlock are getting cheated by this vote of the mayor and our 2 council members. This is what's been taking place by having the Modesto fire chief over Turlock during the past 4 years. There's a lack of consistency and stability in leadership. There were 4 different deputy fire chiefs assigned to Turlock and 3 different Modesto fire chiefs in Modesto over the past 4 years. This is terrible for the Turlock city residents and our city firefighters. With Modesto in charge, our Turlock firefighters have no say in the decisions that are being made by Modesto. Over now, Turlock Fire Department will operate over how Turlock Fire Department will operate as a department and how Turlock is being run as the fire department tactically. Examples: the Modesto fire chief has called our Turlock fire trucks to Modesto, leaving just 1 Turlock fire truck to cover all of Turlock for 2 or 3 hours at a time, and this has happened several times. In one instance, Modesto pulled all of our fire trucks from Turlock at one time. We never have had this happen. This would never have happened if we had our own fire chief. More examples. Turlock is also losing the man we train here in Turlock because Modesto hires them. When we lose these firefighters to Modesto, it puts a strain on our Turlock firefighters because then we are short-handed. Because Modesto is in control, we do not have a Turlock fire marshal, which is a person we must have. With Modesto in charge, we have no control over the costs and how we operate here in Turlock. We need someone who can represent Turlock's best interest, and having our own fire chief is the only way this will happen. This is just a scam by Modesto to get all the fire department grants and not let Turlock get a new fire station. This fire service agreement between the City of Modesto and the City of Turlock is a disaster for all of our Turlock residents. Yes, it's a disaster for all of you here tonight. It's a disaster for all you listening tonight. It's a disaster for all who live here in Turlock. Thank you.
Brian Arkellian.
Hi there. Brian Arkellian, 151 Benjamin Way, Turlock, California. I have an issue. It is dealing with, at the corner, if you can put your mind down at Daubenberger and East Avenue. I am giving constructive notice to the City of Turlock. I would like to share a concern I have about the storm drain in my area. It is behind my house. What has happened is that houses on the other side of Daubenberger in the county have been built there. Yes, all permits were given. But what was not given was permission for when we have heavy rains to have their excess water flow across the street where it eventually ends up in our city storm drain. They have added a lot of dirt to raise up their ranchettes. So the natural flow is into the city of Turlock. With most rains, this is a minor thing, extremely minor. But if we were to get, let's say, 1 inch of rain followed by 3-4 inches of rain during a 24-hour period, their water could flood the homes in our area. My home sits very low. There is a small pump in our storm drain that slowly drains into the sewer. It works fair. I carry flood insurance. I am not a quack. This kind of issue goes between the city and county, and neither wishes to take being the lead agency in the situation, including building, engineering, and parks. A simple solution: have the houses on the county side create small ponds to hold their amounts of water on their property, a reasonable amount. We know act of gods happen and there could be flooding, but some of the water can be retained. And if any of you have ever been on Daubenberger, when it rains, all the water they've raised up their ranchettes, all the water flows into the city of Turlock, into my storm drain. Even the other storm drain on Myers and Opelt, when that fills up, it actually flows down into our storm drain. So this is a major concern. I have seen water halfway up my driveway. My wife and I, we actually store sandbags at our house. I do not want to hire an attorney. Please help. I would reference the California State Water Resources Control Board. They can be a good reference because there might be state issues there that need to be dealt with. So, thank you.
Mr. Arkellian, Director Fisher is the last one in the hanging. Put his hand up if you want to have a discussion with him. Thank you so much. Peter Samal. Peter? No Peter? Okay. Aman, and I can't read this, Sakdeva, maybe? Am I close? Just come on up to the thing, please. Yeah, it's not on the tonight. It's not on the agenda.
It's not agenda?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, next meeting? The mobile vendors on Folkerth and the next meeting. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. No worries. Okay, Rodney. Hey.
This is my first time here. I'm not sure how it works. Thank you. I just wanted to say that, well, I was arrested by your police department a total of 4 times, not once. They had charged me with single crime, and they pretty much ruined my life. wasted a lot of my money. And well, recently, I've spoken many times with Donna and Drina, and I mentioned all this. Not one of you guys ever reached out, or I even reached out to you with email and phone calls. They refused to make an appointment for me with you. And finally, I took action, and I have an attorney, and we have already filed a lawsuit. And what I was really interested is, how much are you guys spending on the attorney fees? The city of Turlock spending total fees and everything on attorneys to fight against my case and all that. And that's what I wanted to find out, is how much being spent. I wanted to see if we could get the spending.
You would need to fill out a Public Records Act and ask that question and submit it through the clerk. And then if you haven't filed with professional services of the police department, then that's the normal.
Well, your attorneys are hiding it. Your attorneys is, even though
two
it's a
different
public
things.
record.
Right.
It's
but I'm
public
just saying,
record, right?
If you have an issue with how you're handled at the police department, professional services will handle that part. These are two different parts. I'm just saying you need to work with the police chief, and then go ahead and send a PRA to the clerk.
To the city?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to know.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Arthur Godwin?
Yes, good evening, Mayor and City Council, and my partner Corbett says congratulations, George. I'm here to talk about all the proliferation of electric motorcycles in town, and I hope I don't sound like a Karen or a grouchy old man, but I've noticed a lot of them lately, and there's small kids, there's teenagers, some with helmets, some without helmets. One of them almost ran into my car the other day. And so I'm just kind of curious if the city's going to develop a policy or start looking into that. I know some cities around California are starting to round those up and enforce it, because these motorcycles were designed and sold as off-road vehicles. And of course, you could just buy it over through Amazon, and box comes, you plug it in, and off you go. So I just kind of curious if the city's going to develop any policies about that, or if the police department plans to do any enforcement actions.
Police chief and his team are working on an ordinance to bring back to us in the near future.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Marcus Betts?
Good evening. I'm here because I'm concerned about emerging details surrounding the April 3rd traffic stop conducted by the Turlock Police Department. They stopped Carlos Mendoza, who was shot by ICE in Patterson 4 days after that traffic stop. They stopped him because he had a cracked windshield. And the emerging details related to this event are extremely concerning and point pretty clearly to collusion on the part of the Turlock Police Department, who it does very much look like contacted ICE directly. So the traffic stop was fine at first, and everything was okay. But then there was a delay, and they brought out a second vehicle, and one of the officers became aggressive, and it escalated. Not really sure why. But eventually, Carlos was allowed to leave and given a warning. And then 4 days later, he was shot for absolutely no reason, 7 times by ICE agents. A witness has testified, and also videos have shown, that he pulled away after he was already fired at. I have a lot of questions that I would love very much for you to address. And I'm just going to list them. There's a lot of them, so you're not really going to have a chance to address all of them right this second, I'm sure. Why was the second police vehicle left out of the police report? Seems a little dishonest. Who were the extra officers, and why were they even there? Why were there plainclothes officers involved with the traffic stop? If Carlos Mendoza was thought to be a dangerous criminal, which has already been dispelled, he is not associated with any gangs here or back in El Salvador. He is not wanted. He was acquitted on charges back in El Salvador, and he is a hardworking father. I would like to know who specifically contacted ICE. I would like to know, forgive me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but I would like to know what Chief Hedden's reasoning was for contacting ICE, even though it's obviously illegal. The next part's a little confusing, so just to kind of explain the background behind these next few. There was a man named Mark Anderson, who posted some stuff on Facebook, and I want to know why he knew about the traffic stop. Is Mark Anderson a law enforcement officer? Is Mark Anderson related to law enforcement? Is Mark Anderson friends with law enforcement? Is Mark Anderson affiliated with the Proud Boys or any such far-right group? And why was the Turlock Police Department talking about the traffic stop with their pals?
Chief, can you have an offline conversation with Rodney? We can start there, okay? Thank you. I have no other cards. Is there anyone else wishing to speak?
Good evening, everybody and community. First and foremost, I usually come up here and I'm tearing everybody up, and I thought today I wanted to say thank you. I actually received a letter in the mail yesterday that says that the district attorney had received a report from the Turlock Police Department that on 10/22/2025, my daughter was in fact a victim of a crime at Turlock Junior High School. Let me tell you how.
Can you just pause for just a second? Oh, sure. Chief, is there a chance you guys could go outside, please? I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I don't go away in some unsafe area. You're just right outside that door so she can speak and she can be heard. You were heard for your time, please. Please. Right now, I am, sir. Can you just go just outside the threshold? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Totally. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So I just wanted to say thank you. I actually received a report that my daughter was in fact a victim of a crime here in the city of Turlock. I do stand with Rodney. There's a lot of issues going on here in the city, and I'm actually really concerned about the safety of our constituents and our community right here. First and foremost, he was in fact a victim of a crime. He was arrested. And so I stand behind Rodney and everything that he brought to your attention. I think what really needs to happen is our officers here in the city of Turlock need a little bit more training, just plain and simple. 6 months after my daughter was assaulted at Turlock Junior High School, I received a report from the district attorney. If you guys want to see it, it's right here, that my daughter was a victim of a crime. What is Chief Hedden planning to do on this case here? Rebecca Moniz, you work in the same courthouse that we had the issues with the restraining order of Save Turlock and everybody else that got denied. And there was many offline conversations that you guys were having with these individuals trying to come after me. Do me a favor, please stop wasting community resources on coming after me. Also, please do me a favor, if you have an issue with me directly, please stop contacting the pastors here locally at Calvary Chapel. I've been notified that there have been many conversations about issues that you have directly with me. If you guys have issues, please come to me directly. I'm not going to stop my fight. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep the fight up, and I'm not going to stop. My next issue here I want to discuss on Angeles Street. A lot of community members on Angeles are concerned about the roads. A man had his, in the plans, there was a driveway that was supposed to be put down. You guys put the driveway down. Why was it ripped back up? He's not very happy. So I want to make sure that he gets his questions answered. I think the safety of our community is at stake right now because our current leaders do not care about our people. And at the end of the day, the decisions that you made regarding our fire department and the contract that you gave to Modesto, it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't have happened. You don't care about our community. And to be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I think we need new leadership, new blood up here. It's time to take a knee. When people are tired, it's time to take a knee. And that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Anyone else that did not fill out a card? Come on up. Oops. Sorry, Leslie.
Hello, good evening, Council. My name is Michael Scott. I live here in Turlock, and I'm going to get hit by a car on Tuolumne and Amherst. I've seen accidents. There's no stop signs from Olive all the way down to Gear. People are traveling down that street at 40, 45 miles an hour. Again, I've seen accidents. There is only a crosswalk on one side of the street, not on both sides, just one side. And again, I'm going to get hit by a car. I'm disabled. The noise is horrible because I'm on a corner. And if there's anything you could do, I've called your agencies and we've spoken, and I've had nothing but good conversations with the people I've spoken with. But I wish you would address traffic much, much more, and speeding. Thank you.
Leslie?
Good evening. So, first of all, ICE needs to get out of our city. But I want to talk about the fire chief. So, you voted one way, and then you were pressured to change your vote. Well, if you're going to vote one way, you need to stand behind it. Right? You guys should have never, ever voted to reconsider. Right? Because when you did, you gave them the opportunity to change the vote when we talk about a fire chief. However, I do like the fact that the mayor wants to create a board, if you will. But the question is, who's going to be on that board? Right? Because it needs to have a citizen, an independent of anything city. Right? So these things need to happen. I know you're going to elect people or place people in a position that kind of see your way. Right? So don't change your vote again. You voted for a reason. I don't know if you didn't understand it, but when I watched it, it looked like you understood it. Right? So I thought this meeting was going to be about the new grants for We Care. But apparently that got changed. So, again, I'm going to say it again. It's time for everybody on this council to reach across the aisle, find common ground, and get it done. Turlock needs a fire chief, and it's in desperate need of a fire marshal. Fire marshals are very important, more important than the chief, because fire marshals go into all the buildings to exact the codes. So please reach across the aisle, find common ground, and let's get this done. It doesn't make sense. And screw ICE.
Anybody else did not fill out a card? Come on up, John. Mr. Barkley, you're after that. Sorry. I didn't see your hand.
What was it?
There's another person after.
Oh, well.
You're good. You're good.
I can wait. No.
Nope.
John Gibbeline. Just a couple things. You know, I've been reporting on. They finally have finished everything. They even put new stop signs in that we never had before. So I'm not sure why we're doing that, but all over, dozens of new stop signs all over our area in areas that we've never had. So I guess it's a new regulation or something like that, but whatever. But just to let you know that the after the recent rains, now the gentleman over there said he gets flooding on Daubenberger or whatever. I've had flooding for decades on my street, and I mean halfway up my driveway and everything else like that. Well, that's just something to live with, and hopefully we don't have extraordinarily, heavy rains or anything else like that. But it's all got fixed. I mean, after they've got everything done, everything's going out and it's beautiful. I mean, that was one of the things I hadn't even thought about. Getting all the things. We got new water lines, new sewer lines, new PG&E lines, new curbs and gutters, new asphalt and everything. But I forgot about the other thing, is that is going to hopefully, alleviate any problems with flooding. Because we had flooding in front of my house and everywhere up and down El Paseo and everything else like that when we had rains. Now, the other thing about, listen, I've sat in here long enough, and I will tell you something about congestion and everything else. I mean, this has been going on forever. And then again, right, I mean, you have to have resources for people to go and enforce the laws and all that kind of good stuff. But congestion and all that kind of good stuff is just going to get worse. And it's unfortunate because everybody's like a bat out of you-know-where, in a hurry to get every place they want to get, and it doesn't matter. You can put, I guess the gentleman was saying down Tuolumne, don't they have those ramps on Tuolumne and everything, and that's supposed to slow it down? Or we have the circular roundabouts and stuff when it's not supposed to do. Well, people are just crazy, and unless there's something that can be done as far as enforcement, whatever. I hope that's just something that in the future that we'll have, because it's important to be able to do all that. Thanks.
Mr. Barco?
Hello, everybody. More importantly, hello to everybody here. You guys are more important than they are. They haven't addressed my needs. It's been 2 years now.
Mr. Barco?
My needs. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to talk to you guys.
Thank
but
you,
you've been
sir.
very disrespectful. You, Mayor, you've been very disrespectful. The attorney left because he knows what he's been doing. This is 2 years I came to talk to you guys about building code enforcement. This is regarding building and safety. It's been 2 years since I brought this up to the city. You guys kept pushing it back, pushing it back. I brought it up again last April, and I've been here. This is my 4th time to discuss this particular thing. Back in November, the attorney said, you guys, I couldn't even work with my district council representative. So when you have a council person, so Erica Phelps is my representative. I can't even commute. She's supposed to represent me.
Mr. Barco, you're supposed to.
And she's not representing me because the attorney said you can't talk to him. And he told everybody not to talk to me and to address my questions to him. So I did address my questions to him. I addressed 11 questions to him back in November. You said I can't speak to anybody. In January, I sent you a list of 11 questions. You still haven't replied to those questions. You haven't answered. You haven't. No, you're wasting my time, and you're disrespectful. You serve this city. This is my hometown. You serve this city. You got to close your mouth. This is my time. You can talk after I talk with your bullshit brown ass. Don't disrespect me. I'm talking right now. This is my time. Okay, last time you answered, I didn't get to answer. Let me talk. You're stealing my time. You didn't answer my questions. You didn't answer my questions, and you left. The last thing you said was the new city manager is going to.
Litigation, right?
The last thing that you said was the city manager is going to address this. The city manager hasn't addressed that. You haven't followed up with any kind of meeting. I've asked you guys numerous times. Let's have a meeting. Let's talk about this. You guys have avoided me. I came to you guys because the city is responsible for local building code. So if something's done, you either have to have a permit, or if you're building without a permit, you still have to repair it according to California building code. The repairs that are made on that wall affect 25 of my neighbors. That wall surrounds 25 homes. And the repairs were made illegally. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Illegal laborers were doing the work. They didn't have a contractor doing the work. And the repairs weren't made the right way. 3 times. 3 different years. And I have to suffer from that. I haven't had to be able to work because I'm going crazy because no one's doing anything about it. I've included you in emails. I've shown you this stuff. I've shown all you guys this stuff. You're not doing anything about it. You're just letting it be. You're not even saying, hey, Mike, don't worry about it. We're going to take care of it. Just take it some time. No, you're just completely like you don't exist. And it's been over a year now specifically on this thing. No respect. You guys aren't doing your job. It's straight up. You're not doing your job. So what? I have to get a lawyer now to go and say this is what the city is not doing their responsibility? I don't want to do that. This is the city I'm from. Why do I want to take it from the city? But I want everybody here to know that this is what they're causing you guys to do. By them not doing their thing, it's causing lawsuits for the city of Turlock. Do your job. Enforce the building code. Because if you enforce the building code, then I can go to a lawyer and say, look, they're not doing things according to building code. But you guys aren't doing that. Instead, you're giving me lip talk. Excuses. I'm glad you're leaving. I'm glad we have a new attorney. Maybe you're a good person in your personal life, but as an attorney, you've been a very poor quality person.
Is there anyone else who hasn't filled out? Is there anyone else who hasn't filled this out? Ron, please come up.
You know, Mayor, I do want to say the city has spent so many resources on this issue. It's unbelievable, okay? So litigation was threatened, and I'll leave it at that, and it'll be in my transition memo for the new city attorney.
Thank you. It's the water.
Must be. Got it. Hi.
Wow. Okay.
What do you want to say?
Yeah, me again. Yes. Okay, good evening. I will say that I know that city manager, the council members, city staff went out and viewed and talked to him and so on and so forth. The sergeant and I tried to talk with him after a council meeting for 20 minutes or so. Doesn't seem to be helping. I'm sorry to see that. Okay. There was a post on Facebook that I felt I needed to come and talk about. It said, and I quote, Morez Legal supports pedophiles and people with serious crimes. End of quote. I find it unbelievable that both Kelly Coelho and Jason Freitas liked this post. One of the fundamental principles of our judicial system is that everyone, no matter how despicable the crime they are accused of, can have legal representation in a court of law. We even pay for a person to have legal representation if they cannot afford legal representation. Okay? Lady Justice is supposed to be blind, fair, and impartial. We do not want a system to where I look at George and I say, well, I like you so you can have a lawyer. And I look at, well, I don't take it personally. I look at Cassandra and I say, well, you're a woman. You're supposed to be pregnant, barefoot, and in the kitchen, and you don't have your hair covered, okay? So therefore, you don't get legal representation. We don't want a system like that. We're supposed to have a system that's supposed to be impartial. And as much as we might not like defense attorneys at times, okay, you know, it is necessary. They play a very necessary role. I feel that it's the height of hypocrisy for Jason Freitas to like this post, since he has taken advantage of public defenders multiple times in his court cases that he has had, some of which were very serious. But basically, I'm speechless that Kelly Coelho, the candidate for Turlock City Council, would like such a such a post. Pledge of Allegiance. She would stand here and say, and for justice for all. Evidently, she doesn't believe that. She should not be here. Thank you.
Anyone else who did not fill out a card who wants to speak? Okay, let's go ahead and close public comment. And we're going to move on to city manager report updates. Is there anything, Mr. Moreno?
Nothing to report today.
All right, it's all written down. Consent calendar. At this time, is there anyone in the community that wishes to pull any item off? And please tell us what it is and why.
I'd like to pull two items for comment, 8F and 8G, and when they come up, I'll make my comments. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this to bed and move towards you guys. What do you want?
Move to approve consent calendar minus F and G.
F and G.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Abram. Yes. Councilmember Bixel.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz.
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips.
Yes.
Mayor Bublak.
Yes. Passes on 5-0. Item F, I guess, Director Moreno, is that you?
I just want to ask his questions. He said he had comments, not questions.
Right. So he only has comments.
Right.
So we just brief it real quick because he did it before.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, the item that it's been pulled is merely a formality of updating our bank signature cards for the current city manager and staff that have the authority to sign. So it's a routine matter, and we do this whenever there's a change in positions.
Any questions of the director? No. All right, Mr. Treeweiler. I don't know.
I just have one question regarding this item. Does the city of Turlock require 2 signatures for check signing, or can one person in the city of Turlock, one of the people on this list, sign a check for the city of Turlock, or does it take 2? Which I believe it should take 2, because it's just not right, the thousands and millions of dollars that we deal with, that one person could spend that much money by signing a check. So that's my question. Do we require 2 signatures? Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak on this item? Okay, we'll close public comment.
Move to approve.
Wait, Doug, can you use the answer?
Thank you.
Sorry.
So we do have financial control in place for signing checks. An individual can sign a check that has approved on the resolution, and the documentation for the bank, anything over $10,000 does require 2 people to sign. So there is a fiscal control in place, yes.
What is the will?
Move to approve, Ada.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Abram?
Just move it.
Yes. Councilmember Bixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Mayor Bublé?
Yes, passes on a 5-0. All right, next item. Go ahead, Mr. Treeweiler. Come on up here and ask us what the question is.
Could you describe to me what it's about, and then I have questions I'd like to answer, or I'd like to ask you. I have 4 questions, but I'd like you to describe what this is, describe the issue here. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this item? Okay, closing public comment. Will you respond, sir?
Yes, ABS is our contractor that does our mailing service, our utility billing, things of that nature. We're increasing the contract due to, obviously, postage has been going up, supplies have been going up, so we make sure we have coverage until the next time this contract comes to fruition, we put it back out to bid.
What's the will of council?
Move to approve 8G.
I didn't talk. I wanted questions. I didn't ask my questions. He was telling me what it was about, and I was going to ask my questions. Now I have my questions to present to you. My questions are, this agreement expires 181 days from today. What's the reason for giving this company another $151,200 at this time when this agreement expires in just 181 days? I've gone through this. I went back and pulled the original meeting again, and once again, this was done during COVID time. That was my first question. What's the reason that this is being done now when this agreement expires in 181 days? My second question is, it's a consent item lists that it needs 250, in the consent item it lists that we need 250,000 more windowed envelopes for the next 181 days. I went online. You can buy 251,000 envelopes for $18,000. What's the other $133,200 for? Why is there so much money in this? That's my second question. My third question is, going back to the original, and here it is right here, October 12, 2021 meeting, which this was during the height of the pandemic, we see that it states that 2 vendors submitted bids. However, it does not name the price that the other company gave. It does not list the name of the other company. So that sounds a little bit strange. So why was this information not given? That's my third question. Fourth question. In this bid, ABS Direct, at that date, is giving us a price list. They gave a complete price list of what they were going to be charging. And in that list, it lists all the prices. So how is this paid? In other words, it gives a schedule of printing prices for the envelope prices, making it appear that each bill will be broken down when submitted. Is that the way these bills are paid, and how often are these bills paid, or these people paid for their work? Those are my 4 questions. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this item? Closing public comment. Yes, some answers, Director?
Sure, I'll be happy to help. So we had quite a few, so we'll run through them. Why are we adding more money? I believe I alluded to that, why the contract's coming back. As you can see, postage is where these mailers are coming out. They're doing that postage for us. Postage has been going up constantly, multiple times in the years over time, so the contract has to fluctuate with that overall. Cost of materials have been going up. Yes, they have a bid price, but we have printed envelopes. These are not just your standard go to Office Depot and pick a random envelope. They have printed our logos, mailing addresses, things of that nature on them. So there's a little more substance than just a standard overall envelope. Why does the bid and the staff report in 2021? So a staff report in 2021, obviously I can't see the documentation. You can do a public records request if you want to see the information. It is publicly available, but I can't speak to why the staff report was one in that nature. I mean, I barely started in 2021, so. How often do we get billed? We do get billed, I believe it's every 2 weeks, due to the substantial size of these invoices overall. So that's how often they bill us. I believe I caught them all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Councilmember Vixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, and it passes on a 5-0. Thank you. Final readings, none. Public hearing, we have a opportunity for Ms. Figueroa to speak. Come on. Good evening, Jennifer.
Good evening, Mayor, Madam Mayor, members of council, and community members. The item before you is the recommended approval and submission of the fiscal year 2026-2027 annual action plan to HUD for the city of Turlock. In this presentation, we will cover HUD entitlement requirements, the purpose of the annual action plan, HUD funding, and projects and programs. The annual action plan covers the Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG funds for the City of Turlock, and home program income for the City of Turlock and Stanislaus Urban County's Home Consortium from the city's tenure as lead of the consortium. The Home Consortium includes Stanislaus County and all cities in the county with the exception of Modesto. Beginning in fiscal year 2000-2001, the City of Turlock and the Stanislaus Urban County was designated a home consortium by HUD. This entitled the consortium to receive federal HUD funding without a competitive application process. The City of Turlock acted as the lead entity of the consortium from fiscal year 2000-2001 through fiscal year 2022 through 2023. And effective July 1, 2023, Stanislaus County assumed the lead role of the consortium. So a HUD entitlement jurisdiction is required to submit 3 plans or reports annually, well, over a period of time. First, a consolidated plan or a COM plan is required that assesses housing and community development needs, identifies priority needs, and sets measurable goals, and covers a 3 to 5 year period. The City of Turlock's CON plan covers a 5-year period. Also, HUD requires an annual action plan that describes how funds will be spent during the program year, supports goals and priorities outlined in the CON plan, and is submitted annually. And then finally, at the end of the year, HUD requires a consolidated annual performance evaluation report, also known as the CAPER, that reports expenditures and accomplishments from the prior fiscal year, measures progress toward consolidated plan goals, and also is submitted annually. The purpose of the annual action plan is to list the anticipated CDBG and home projects for the upcoming fiscal year, is to review a summary of funds distribution, and is to give the community an opportunity for citizen participation. The plan was available for public review from February 27th, 2026 through March 30th, 2026. The City of Turlock's consolidated plan priorities are identified as improve public infrastructure and facilities, provide and assure access to essential public services, support affordable housing and promote accessible housing options, work to address prevent and mitigate homelessness, and administration. So please note, at the time the annual action plan was released for comment and the staff report was submitted, the actual funding allocation had not yet been given. The city has since received their allocation. I lost my mouse. Okay, so the figures in this presentation reflect the actual allocations that has since come through. So our CDBG allocation for fiscal year 26-27 is $560,491 with approximately $400,000 in carryover and program income of $200,000 for an estimated total of a little over $1.1 million. For the home program, there's an anticipated estimate of $110,000 to be received from program income, and we won't be receiving the home allocation as we're no longer the lead. The City of Turlock project categories are as follows. For CDBG funding, a maximum of 20% of the annual allocation plus anticipated program income can be utilized for program administration at $152,098. $593,393 will be utilized for owner-occupied rehabs. Public service grants will utilize $115,000, providing essential services to the community. Public infrastructure and facility improvements will utilize approximately $300,000. And for the home program income, the first-time home buyer program will utilize approximately $110,000 in home funding. As part of the CDBG allocation, 15% of the allocation plus 15% of the program income from the prior year may be spent on public services. This slide depicts the 6 nonprofit organizations and amounts recommended by the CDBG Selection Committee in January of 2026. A separate item will be presented at a future council meeting to recommend authorization to execute these contracts. And that concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions.
Questions?
Yes, Ms. Figueroa, can you elaborate a little bit more on the public infrastructure? I forget exactly what the title is. Public facilities infrastructure, because that's always been a category in our con plans, but it's been a few years since we've been planning for funding with that. So what type of projects are you anticipating?
We actually put that in there. We have to spend it over the 5-year period. So we have had a few conversations with our municipal services of different projects to be funded. So we have to spend it over the 5 years. So it's put in our plan, anticipating we don't have any set projects in mind at this time. If halfway through the year we decide we're not going to use it, we can do a substantial amendment to move that money somewhere else.
Any other questions?
Okay. Is that the same with any other category there too?
Yes.
All right, we'll open it to the public. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? John?
The only question I had was, there was a thing about income. Where does that money come from? I'm just curious.
The program income? Yeah. The program income is from prior projects that we've done, and so that's why it's called program income. It's income that's come in. For example, we do a lot of owner-occupied rehabilitations. Part of those loans are deferred loans over 30 years. A lot of times people pay them off early, and what it is meant to do is go back into the program and fund more projects.
Anyone else? Ron?
The work to address, prevent, and mitigate homelessness. I know previously, I forget the name of the program, we had a program to help prevent homelessness. It was to give some money for rent or utility payments, things like that. I remember asking, I think it was Sue, I asked her, and she gave me some details on that, on the number of people that were helped and families that were helped, and it seemed to be a significant number, like over 100, 150, something like that. I guess I have 2 questions. Number one, is that program operating now, or would that be underneath this category? Because it seems to me that this is a good thing to do, okay, in terms of trying to prevent homelessness. It seemed like it was a successful program, at least the second try. The first try that didn't work, second try it did work. I do have a little bit of a complaint, you know. I mean, you've had such a peaceful meeting, you know.
That's laughs, right?
Yeah. That's sass. Well, I got you to laugh. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I kind of don't like it when we bring something before the council, and if the council wants to make substantial changes, you really can't, because the 30 days for the public participation, if I understood the comment here, would put us past the May 15th deadline. So I know we've talked about that issue before. I would encourage that we do things far enough ahead to anticipate nasty people like me coming up and saying, hey, it's going to be changed. Okay. Was there another comment I had? I think that was, I don't know what you do in terms of the advertising, the CDBG stuff, but if we could get more public involvement, more explanation, I mean, no one really knows what CDBG means, and even if you say community development block grants, most of us would not know. Okay, I think it would be helpful in social media to kind of talk about how the monies could be spent, possibilities, and I think that would encourage more people to come. You had like 2 people from the public come, and 24 from the nonprofits come. So I just make those comments.
All right.
Thank you.
Anyone else on this topic? Okay, we'll close public comment. Are you prepared to answer some of those?
Yes. So I believe there was one question about the help mitigating the homelessness. We did have a program. It was, I want to say 2-3 years ago. Well, I've been here too, so it's been 2. So 4 or 5 years ago. And it was actually a nonprofit that provided rent assistance. The reason you don't see that in there is they didn't apply. We put out a notice of funding availability, and we tell them we have all these public services, and they are welcome to apply and give their presentation, and we just haven't had any come forward. So if we did have some come forward, we definitely would consider that. So that's for that. We actually are bringing this annual action plan a month earlier than we usually do. So I know it, and we understand that. I mean, if something was to be changed, we could approve it. Depending on if it's a substantial amendment, it could be, it wouldn't have to go back out to public comment for 30 days. It would depend on what the action was. And if there were still changes, we could submit it and do a substantial amendment. So there are ways that we try to bring it as soon as we can, but if you bring it too soon, you're not getting the information from HUD, and so it's kind of a balancing act there.
All right. Ms. Will?
I'm going to move to approve just with a comment that thank you for bringing this a month earlier. One of the biggest complaints we had about your predecessor was bringing us stuff at the 11th hour going, hey, you have to do this right now or else it's doomsday. So I'm very appreciative that you brought this to us early, and it's ready to go. So move to approve. Thank you.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. That's Councilmember Bixel.
Councilmember Abram? Yes. Councilmember Bixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes with 5-0. Thank you, Ms. Figueroa. All right, action items. Item A, Director Sims.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council, staff, and members of the public. The item before you tonight is seeking direction on the remaining $150,000 in American Rescue Plan Act ARPA funds allocated for business development programs. Tonight we'll briefly review some of the past programs approved by Council, as well as present a few proposed options to utilize the remaining funds. In December 2021, Turlock City Council allocated $1 million in ARPA funds for the Relief Across Downtown Rad Card Matching Program. The Rad Card was administered by the Downtown Modesto Partnership and was a digital gift card consumer shopping program. The program allowed Turlock residents to purchase digital funds to spend at participating Turlock businesses. The program operated as a consumer matching program where the city matched consumer purchases dollar for dollar. The program's goal was to provide Turlock consumers more spending dollars as well as increased revenue for participating Turlock businesses. Through the duration of the program, there were a few concerns and challenges. The program did not achieve the level of success that we originally anticipated. The program was ran by a third party. Some of the challenges were app technical difficulties and lack of responses from the administrative team. The RAD card program had utilized $575,000 when the city ceased participation due to the ongoing administrative inefficiencies and technical challenges. In June of 2024, the remaining $425,000 was allocated towards the Small Business Development and Assistance Program. Participating businesses were eligible to receive up to $3,500 to support social media and Google advertising campaigns aimed at increasing consumer traffic and sales for Turlock businesses. Only 23 businesses successfully completed the program. Many businesses experienced challenges gaining access to their Google business account and Meta, Facebook, Instagram accounts to set up ads. At the conclusion of these programs, approximately $150,000 in funds remained available for business development initiatives. Tonight, staff is seeking council direction on how to best allocate these remaining funds to support Turlock businesses, increase consumer activity, and drive long-term sales tax growth for the city. Staff has identified several options for council consideration. Staff is proposing to allocate $25,000 towards a Discover Turlock for the Holidays 2026 campaign, which would run September 1st through December 31st. It would be a geofencing marketing campaign designed to promote shopping in Turlock, highlight community events, and increase visitor traffic to local businesses during the holiday season. Strategic geofencing campaigns are effective tools to increase consumer awareness, drive visitation, and support local business activity, particularly in the critical fourth quarter season. The campaign builds on the success of the 2025 Discover Turlock for the Holidays effort, which generated 866,000 impressions and helped promote local businesses and community events during the fourth quarter. Staff is also proposing that the remaining $125,000 be allocated towards a Choose Your Own program model, allowing businesses to select the support option that best meets their needs. The first option of the Choose Your Own program would be a business education program, which is designed to further educate existing Turlock businesses in key areas such as e-commerce, marketing, AI business solutions, social media marketing, business website development, and financial management. The workshops would take place between now and December 1st. A Turlock business that attends 3 workshops would be eligible for $2,500. This builds on the city's existing workshop efforts and help businesses remain competitive, learning new, evolving initiatives. The second option of the Choose Your Own program would be a small business safety and lighting reimbursement program. The program provides financial assistance to eligible locally owned businesses to install shatterproof glass, safety glass, and LED lighting improvements to storefronts. The program is intended to increase public safety, deter crime, and enhance lighting conditions for customers, employees, and surrounding commercial areas. The program would provide up to $2,500 per business for storefront improvements such as security glass and LED lighting. It would be a pay first, reimburse after type of program with proof of expenditure required. Businesses would be allowed to participate in only one program, though, ensuring that a broader distribution of funds across the entire business community. Programs would be limited to locally owned, non-franchised, brick-and-mortar businesses within Turlock that are in good standing with the city. So staff is proposing to approve $25,000 for a holiday geofencing campaign and $125,000 for a Choose Your Own program. With this amount, 50 businesses will be able to participate. Some additional options for council consideration. Council may choose to direct the full $150,000 towards alternative uses such as city beautification projects or other city priorities that can be completed within the year. So in summary, staff is presenting a balanced approach that includes a marketing campaign, flexible business-focused programs that support education, safety, and economic growth. We're seeking council's direction on how to best deploy the remaining funds. This concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions.
Questions for Director?
Have you had businesses reach out to you to say, we need help? Or, are you getting any input from business knowing we've got some money to spend?
we have our Tuesday drop-in program. We usually get 1 to 3 businesses that pop up. It's a 2-hour time frame, and then just meeting with businesses for our business visitation program. They will express some of their challenges. I'll give you an example today. We met with a business that wanted to get more exposure. They recently opened, but they're just trying to build their presence, get more exposure. So typically, businesses are going to want help with marketing, exposure, or employee retention or recruiting employees.
Any other questions? Question? Okay, it looked like a comment. I'll open it. I'll open it to the public. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? Ron?
Okay. I'm curious, there were 72 grant applications and 23 went through the whole program. If I remember correctly, there were like 2 phases to where you got like 1,500 in the first phase, and then you had to complete some stuff, and then you would get the rest of the 3,500 or whatever it was. I'm just curious if how many completed that first phase. So that was one question I had. Another question was, I would just say the idea of bollards, or however you pronounce that. I think you can maybe help with some of that. I'm curious about what the costs for that might be, because I do think that that's a good idea. It'd be a good idea for downtown. I think there's a lot of things they could do in downtown if they had some easy to place and remove bollards like that. Okay, so I would put in a plug for that. When I read the LED lighting for the business storefront, boy, sorry to bring up a probably sore point, but we had the 2 shootings behind in the parking lot out there. I was just wondering if it might be possible to, I don't know, add some additional lighting in that area. Okay, that thought, just cosmic ray came through and hit me and triggered the thought. Yeah, I think that was it. So thank you very much.
Anyone else? All right, we'll close public comment. Bring it back for some considerations. I kind of want to, my passion is economic development, and it's what we base everything on. Having said that, I think we can always find money in our general fund for something like that. I just think right now the animal shelter probably could use it most at this very instant, and so I would prefer to put it there and then come back for a request out of reserve or something for economic development, should that be something we want.
What specifically are you talking about for the animal shelter?
Well, it needs somewhere about $10 million, so anything towards it would help. Chief could probably throw off 15 different ideas.
You just spent $150.
He did just a minute ago, I saw.
We have a number of building issues, drain issues, health and safety issues, all kinds of stuff going on there. So yeah, definitely there's a need at the animal shelter. We were working with the current ARPA funds that were allocated on what we could do. We had about $100,000 in our budget for that. We've exceeded that. We're moving towards going over that. So we're looking at other ideas, other options. It's going to be expensive either way you go. So if we can use some ARPA money to make it, better for our staff, that's money well spent.
If we could just use ARPA money to make some general repairs. I mean, the building is almost dilapidated. It's
only 30 years old.
It's only 30 years old. It's embarrassing, truthfully. And it's no secret that we have folks showing up to the council meetings complaining about the conditions. I even got a complaint this last week about my goats. Goats. People can call the city and claim we have dead goats everywhere. And it's just, so I think that's a great idea. Animal shelter would be money well spent.
All right, well, I'll make the motion to move that instead into the animal shelter.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Abram? Yes. Councilmember Bixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, it passes on 5-0. Thank you, Director. All right, Mr. Petrolakis, you're up.
Yes, Madam Mayor. This is an interesting action we're asking you to take tonight. It's to pass a resolution of intention to consider a future ordinance that would come back to you. Recently, on March 20th, your Director of Risk Management, not Rich Management, that would be better, but your Director of Risk Management and I participated in a mediation of a matter of a complaint filed with the California Civil Rights Department. That was formerly known as the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing. They have jurisdiction over complaints regarding reasonable accommodations under fair housing laws, American with Disability Acts, those kind of things. So the mediation was successful, and out of the mediation, we agreed that the city would draft a fuller reasonable accommodation ordinance than you now have in your municipal code. Right now in the municipal code, in like 6 places in the zoning ordinance, it's kind of got a one-liner, about reasonable accommodations. But there's really no standards or there's no consistency with it and all of that. So we did agree at the staff level that we would draft such an ordinance and recommend approval to the council. So tonight what we're asking you to do is there are 3 ways for the Planning Commission to take jurisdiction of matters that they have to look at and make a recommendation before it comes back to you. One of those is by the council passing a resolution of intention to consider this ordinance in the future. So it's a pretty simple action, and it really then gives jurisdiction to the Planning Commission to review it and make the recommendation that is required under municipal code back to you. So that's it. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Okay, we'll open it to public. Close the public comment.
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Abram? Councilmember Bixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz? Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes on a 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Petrolakis. Was that your last effort?
I guess so, yeah. There's a few efforts that are still undone, so I've got 2 weeks, so we'll see.
We'll cover that in closed session.
That's
Okay.
right, we'll see.
Council comments, announcements, and future items. What happened? Your mic. George, mic.
There we go. So in spirit of Volunteer Week and thanks for all of our volunteers, Love Turlock is coming up on the 25th. So I checked today. There's lots of events that you can still sign up for. So I hope that the community will come out for that. In some of the conversations I had with staff leading up to the item about economic development, I'm really curious if we can, whether it's through a consultant, hopefully not because that always costs a whole lot, or through our partners at Cal State Stanislaus to do some kind of ongoing surveying and polling with our business community of what do they need, what would be most helpful, because items like this come forward and are informed by, I'm sure, conversations, but it's impossible to talk to everybody and every business owner all the time. So I think something that we do, periodically, every year, once every couple of years, just to get a better sense of what the needs are and how we can be meeting them whenever we have funding available, I think that would be helpful.
Councilman Bixel?
I want to thank the chief and the boys in the back. When things get a little rough, it's nice to see your moves to make us feel better up here, so it just doesn't go unnoticed, and thank you. And I just want to say thank you to George. It's been a pleasure. I wish you the best, and hope to see you again.
Chief Hedden, public comment is an anomaly, right? People can get up and misquote the California Values Act and SB 54. That doesn't mean it's right. I don't believe that our police department is violating the protocols between local law enforcement and ICE. I'm proud of our police department. I'm proud that we have laterals transferring in from other departments to come here to Turlock to work. And yeah, you're taking applications, but you don't have a lot of openings over there these days, and it's great. And unfortunately, people can get up at that lectern and say just about whatever they want as long as it falls under the subject matter jurisdiction of the city. That doesn't mean it's true. Fire Chief Jelnick, same to you, sir. It is not a disaster that Turlock is saving money and providing better fire service to our citizens. Just because somebody gets up and says something in public comment doesn't make it right. I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here, and I'm proud of our fire department. George Petrolakis, 5 years of service, 5 years of your life that you're not going to get back, sir. Woohoo! And can I just say that doing your job does not mean that you have to tell people what they want to hear. So sometimes doing this job, you have to tell people the answer that somebody doesn't want to hear. It does not mean it's the wrong answer. It's just the answer to the resolution or the problem. Lots of folks want to kick and scream because they weren't told what they wanted to hear. But I always say perception's reality, and that's life for folks. Captain Rodriguez, where did he go? He took off on me. Neighborhood Services knocked it out of the park for District 2 last week. Thank you. I'm pretty sure Miss Ruth Hoover had a hand in that. I'm very appreciative. Director Fisher, I had a nasty fatality. Family members, loved ones were lost at my three-way intersection out on Washington Road. Thank you for your collaboration with Supervisor Chiesa. I really appreciate your efforts and your hard work. The last thing I'm going to say is there was a football game that took place. I'm not going to say who won and who got first place and second place, but I'm going to say that Turlock Fire Department and Turlock Police Department won, and we beat the Sheriff's Office and the Probation Department. So, yay for Turlock Fire and Turlock PD. Good job. You make us so proud. I'm proud of both of you guys and your departments. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you.
And I just wanted to address one of our citizens, Leslie, about the accusations of me being pressured to vote one way or another. There was a misunderstanding. I appreciate you guys allowing me to reconsider. I vote based on my research and my notes that I do whenever I get the agenda. So I just wanted to make that clear. In addition to that, last Thursday, I toured Modesto Fire Administration because I wanted to learn more about it. I wanted to know how they operate, sit down and talk to a lot of people. Chief Shannon Evans and Andrew Hunter took me on a tour in there. So in my place, I want to learn more as much as I could so that way I could understand it better, and that way we can all collaborate and work together. And hopefully, soon, as Mayor said last meeting, maybe they can, be independent one day or whatever the fire wants. But I just wanted to address that I am taking the time to go out there and in the administration office to kind of get to know and understand it better. So, and congratulations to Turlock Fire and PD for the Battle of the Badges. And George, of course, it's been an awesome year and 5 months. I wish you the best, and I'm sure I'll see you around. So.
All right, so the helmets are here, and they're going to start training on those Thursday? Yeah, that's exciting. That's good stuff. Speaking to fire, police and fire handled a fatality house fire, and it was an awkward, terrible situation, but they handled it very professionally, and I just wanted to thank each and every one of them for having to go through that. It's people don't understand what you have to see and just keep moving. I think I want to make sure that people understand none of us have signatory to any checks. We're not making money here. In fact, people who ran for office would only make the $350 we make after taxes. It's the day I was sworn in as mayor the first time, I took my name off of any signatory. I don't want to have that responsibility. I'm not prepared to do that. That is not my place, so I'm not stealing the public's funds. If anything, I'm monitoring your funds tighter than most people do. Beyond that, Lieutenant Shaw is on his way, and he is in the academy at FBI. Saw him at the airport when I was on my way to D.C. the other day, so I was happy to see that. That's good stuff. And to Leslie's question, of course, it will be a Turlock's community members, not electeds, not former electeds, not on any committee, that will be with the fire department. So we will have nothing to do with who those people are chosen, but it won't be former fire, won't be former police. It'll be the community. And with that, we have closed session.
Yes, we have 13A, Conference with Labor Negotiators, California Government Code 549576A, Agency Designated Representative, Acting City Manager Isaac Moreno, and Employee Organization, Turlock Management Association, Public Safety, and B, Conference with Legal Counsel, Anticipated Litigation, California Government Code 549569D2, Cases 1.
And we will report out should there be something. Thank you very much.
Thumbs up. All right. We are out of closed session. There was nothing to report, so we are in adjournment.